Hey everybody, how's it going? Chris here with Jet Sim Flight, and another quick update video for you. Got some pretty good progress going on the flight sim, mostly on the overhead part of the sim and some of the other components that I wanted to put in place to make the sim kind of a little bit more realistic feeling and sounding and things like that. So got several different things done. So I got the, as you can see, most of the overhead panel is done here. I just have a few panels that I need to put, etch out the letters on, which includes the hydraulics panel, the air conditioning panel, and I need to make a top panel for this, a few of them as you can see. But for the most part, most of them are done. And then I have, I made some dummy fire pole panels, which seem to be working okay. And then obviously you've seen probably on the updates with photos and things of the fuse panel. And I haven't actually put the labels on here yet. I don't know quite how I'm going to do that just yet. I'm not sure whether I'm going to try to do like just stencils, white stencils, or whether I'm going to do some paint that's done with some with a painting stencil that I'll have to have made. But that's pretty close to being done as well. The other parts, obviously, is that I have the captain's side ear panel, and let me just get a light here so I can kind of shine some light on some of these things, because some of this is a little dark. So there you can see the that captain's panel slightly lit up there, and you can kind of see the contours of it. And then I also have the first officer side as well. The first officer side is basically primed right now. It's not actually finished, but it's pretty close to matching the same as the captain's side. I did notice that some of my measurements are about a ½ an inch off or so, off the center line. So I have slightly shorter on the first officer side than on the captain's side. I've also put in, you might be able to see the little handles right here. Got little grabbing handles so that when you get into the aircraft you can actually grab a hold of that. I also have one here, and this one actually is not attached to, I'm not sure if you can, maybe we can see inside of there, you can see that it's not actually attaching anything, you can see the screws. So I'm going to have to put a bracing board across there that I'll mount with some 3 or 4 inch screws on a nice strong 2x4 that braces across the whole plane there. And then again on the captain's side, another handle for the captain to get in and out of the seat as well. The other thing here on the overhead is the little key that I have here to release the overhead, and right now I just have a little LED panel back there to kind of help light up the panel a bit for this video, since I don't have any of the backlit panels actually completed yet for the overhead. But just to kind of give you a visual overview of what's there, let me go ahead and flip the camera around and show you a couple of other pieces. The other thing you might notice here is I have a little subwoofer. This is just a Boss 8-inch subwoofer, and I built its own little contained box. I have to seal the inside still to make sure that all the holes are sealed, so that it's a nice sealed box. But this is roughly about 7 inches deep by 12 by 12 width and height, or excuse me, width and length, and the height is about 7 inches or so total. And this actually will mount on the inside rails of the seats. Now I have this one out just for kind of demonstration purposes, but the first officer side is actually already in the underneath the seat there, and it's a little dark, sorry about that, but here you can see it's actually mounted under the seat, and the speaker actually points up to the seat, so you actually get the feeling in the seat. And I've kind of already tested this a little bit, and and then the cable, I'll show you where the cable is actually run here. So we have the cable that comes out, which this will actually be, if it will focus again, Okay, there he goes. All right, the cable comes out here, and eventually I'm going to actually put like a little panel here where this will mount with an actual connector, so this is a little bit more secured. The cable actually just comes down here onto the floor and goes through the floor, and then as it comes out of the floor, it crosses over to this little spot here and comes up all the way through here, through this piece, all the way up, and then we pop around to the top, and it comes right up here where the other speaker cable comes together, and then I'm tripping over everything here in the shop. It's a tight squeeze, and jump up here onto the top, and as you can see, it comes around here like so, and comes into with all the little things. It comes up here and into this little power amp, which is just a little 2.1 channel power amplifier, and it's not super powerful, but honestly for a thing this small it doesn't really need to be. For anybody who wants to see the make and model there's what it is. And this is, I just got this off of Amazon. It was super cheap. I think it was maybe like 40 bucks for this thing, and I actually really like it. It's actually pretty darn nice, to be completely honest. It's pretty awesome. And so now you can see some of the wiring and stuff. I did start to do some of the soldering work on some of those new buttons and pieces, and here's actually the little dimmer module for the overhead panel, and that's actually one of the pieces is actually a dimmer, so there will be control to control the brightness for the overhead. I have 3 more of those of these little dimmers, one for each side of the main instrument panel for the captain's and first officer side, and then one more for the console. So the overhead will have one, the console will have one, and each of the captain's and first officer side panels will have one. So those will all be nicely controlled, and then I'm actually going to be creating PCB boards to do light distribution panels, so that I can obviously separate those off into pieces that come off of the power blocks that I've already got in place. I just haven't connected them up to the 12-volt power supply yet. And right now I have that 12-volt power supply down here in the back side of the MIP, because I was doing a test with the MIPS controller here, and here's that one's thing, and this is just a switch to on, and then a potentiometer, and these I also got off of Amazon, and these were also pretty darn cheap. I think, you know, there are a couple places FDS sells something like this that's pretty pricey. I think they charge like 40 bucks. I think I bought these for like 40 bucks for 4 of them. So now it says that it's a motor. If you look on the back of it, it actually says, I'll pull this one up here because it's a little bit brighter to be able to see it here. There we go. Okay, so you can see that it says power and motor on the back here. But actually it works the same. It's really just a, it's adjusting the voltage that's going through, or the current, one of the two. I'm not really sure of the electronics behind it, but I do know that it works, and very, very well, to be honest. And then the other thing you might see here is this panel here. Now it's not actually cut because this is the first little fitting of it, but I'm actually starting to frame out some of the inside finish work, and this is just one of the first pieces of it. You can see that I have a line drawn here, which is the curve of where the outer part of the window is supposed to be, and I plan to actually put plexiglass on the outside here and finish the top and everything, so that when you look at it, it looks like a finished thing. It will, of course, all be painted flat black, like the rest of most of the frame here, in order to cut down on any kind of reflections from the overhead. And temporarily, you can see I actually have the curved screen taken down off of the sim for right now. And that's mostly just so I can get back here because because I am doing some of this finishing work. I wanted to be able to have nice, easy access to everything that is up here. So, but yeah, this is that's pretty much all I have for today as far as the updates go. A little view for you here from the front window and looking into the cockpit. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe below and tell a friend or two. Thanks so much. Have a good day.